Ellie Price reporting there. Well, you predicted correctly. I'm now going to ask about UKIP's predictions.
Yes, the Mugs game.
The Mugs game. Well, as long as you play fair. I mean, are you still expecting UKIP to win 9 seats?
No, I've never said 9. So, sorry, where does that come from?
Well, that's what UKIP. Well, that's what UKIP were predicting 9 seats. But you haven't put, and you won't put a number on it.
No, we'll win 5 seats.
5.
I think we'll win 5 seats, and we may do better than that. I mean, look, you know, we've never won a seat in the Assembly before. There is going to be a breakthrough in Wales, and not just in Wales either. And I think people are sort of not quite noticing that in the opinion polls, last Thursday, one of the YouGov polls had UKIP on its highest ever national rating. So we're not doing badly.
But it's about translating into seats, as you know, from both general election and council. So 5, anything less than 5 would be a disappointment for you then in Wales.
I think we're going to win 5 seats. We may do slightly better than that. Let's see.
Right, but as you say, looking at what's going to happen elsewhere in England, will it be a case of coming second and third, maybe a high second in a lot of places, but actually you're just not going to make the gains in England?
I think we're going to win seats in the London Assembly. I'll predict that.
OK. Seats?
I think we're going to win a seat or 2 in Stormont in Northern Ireland, which no other party will do. The Tories won't do it. Labour aren't even standing.
But outside London and England?
I think in Scotland it's 50-50. I think with the English local elections, we will make gains. How many, I simply don't know, but we will make gains.
But isn't that an important benchmark for UKIP, is how well they'll do in England?
Of course.
But if you don't make any seats, yes, you can point to Wales and Stormont and London.
To try and guess how many gains we're going to make in these English elections is virtually impossible. Will we make gains? We will. And, OK, if you really want specifics, in Thurrock, I think we will become the biggest party on that council. I think in Rotherham, we've a chance of becoming the biggest party on that council. We already control Thanet District Council, so we are, you know, there are 500 local UKIP councillors. Our local base is growing. The people that we've had elected have behaved, on the whole, pretty well.
On the whole.
And been very diligent.
Yes.
And worked hard. So, yes, we will improve.
Right, but in Thanet, I mean, in areas where you did win, there have been problems, haven't there? There have been splits in the party or people not agreeing amongst themselves, UKIP councillors, and that, to some extent, but that has taken away...
Well, we've actually got ferries bringing cars back into Ramsgate for the first time in 10 years. Things are going very well.
Really? I mean, so when you say you're rolling up your sleeves, working hard and serving the people, have you got a good enough record in local government to show for it?
I think we have, yes, and I think Thanet is proving it. Things are getting better there by the day.
Right.
And overall...
But after 6 months, it was a pretty awful, wasn't it?
Well, what party doesn't go from that number to that number and not have a few problems? It always happens.
Right. I mean, I suppose what people say, if you can't gain council seats in England during a period but enough, you haven't put a figure on it, fair enough, but when other populist and anti-EU parties are gaining ground, I mean, really quite significant ground across Europe, there must be serious doubts about the long-term political competitiveness of UKIP.
As I've just said, you know, YouGov last Thursday had us on the highest opinion poll ever. And that's for a party that won the European elections in 2014. So we're now at the highest we've ever been as a party. What more can I do? I mean, you know...
You didn't get the official campaign designation.
No.
Now, I mean, one might have asked, you spent your whole career fighting for having a referendum and for pulling out. I mean, is there a danger people just think you've served your purpose? As you said, this turkey's voting for Christmas, you could be out.
That's in terms of Brussels, yes. Look, I think UKIP's established itself as a party that fights. Yes, we believe in self-government, but we've also made some big calls, you know, on immigration and other things, and been proved to be right, and led public opinion. And I think whatever happens in this referendum, you know, if there is a narrow win... Right.
How narrow... I mean, how significant does the win have to be before people start saying it's going to be a never-endum?
Well, I think that if the Remain camp were to win, which, by the way, I don't think they're going to,
but
just given the passion that is on the Leave side compared to the Remain side, but let's say that the Remain side did win by a few points, I suspect that there could be quite large chunks of the Labour Party and Conservative Party who would be irreconcilable to the position their leaderships took in that campaign.
So you're still saying there'll be a UKIP after the referendum, whatever happens?
It could be a lot bigger than it is now.
Either way?
It could be a lot...
In terms of the result?
I think if we were to lose the referendum, it could be very much bigger. If we were to win the referendum, we would need to be there to make sure that people's will was actually carried out. But then the public would ask, what else, and need to see more than they've seen so far.
All right. Well, so much for UKIP. What about the Lib Dems process?
Big Man Tyrone here. Make sure to subscribe to the wicked awesome Robin Hood UKIP YouTube website. He exposes the leftist crops on the British brainwashing corporation. Nice.